Okay, that should be better. Camera mic off, auxiliary off. Okay,
I would
no
just
more
start
echoes.
over so the recording's better. That's fine.
All right. Hey guys, welcome to the next episode of Beneath the Surface, a nerdy ass podcast where we talk about all things nerd. With me this week is our owner, Braden Spencer, and if I didn't tell you before and you don't know me, my name is Nick the Red. I'll be your host for this evening's fun. Anyway, look, I'm terrible at redoing things, okay? Just get off me. Um, yeah, so this week we are a week behind. We took a week off for Memorial Day, so apologies if you guys missed us. If not, sorry. Anyway, uh, you had a bunch of stuff you wanted to talk about. You had stuff you want to talk about the store and stuff like that.
I didn't have anything specific I wanted to talk about. I just said that if you wanted me to come on and talk about stuff, I would.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything like lined up on the docket or anything.
Well, I mean, Tyler abandoned me, so. And then, unfortunately, Space Bunny is sick this week, and if you couldn't tell, I'm recovering from a horrible, horrible sickness. Like it put me on my behind for like 4 or 5 days. It was ridiculous. Anyway, um, so we just got back from the PQ down in Kissimmee.
Yeah, where I got absolutely manhandled for 7 rounds.
Yeah. So any of you guys don't know, PQ is the planetary qualifiers for the Star Wars Unlimited card game. If you're a regular viewer of the show, I talk about almost on a regular basis. It's kind of my favorite game right now. Um, what did you end up bringing?
Of course, I brought Maul Data Vault, which is, though it's not exactly the most competitive deck, it is my favorite one to play. I don't have a ton of time to like set and deck tech, so I basically am a one-trick pony at this point. I bring Maul Data Vault, and it does really well. It's a very like mid-range, slightly aggro deck. I was able to win one in almost every single round.
I remember you saying that, like your first game, you usually took the first game, but then your opponent would just sideboard and know exactly what to do to stop you.
Not necessarily exactly. So I only had 2 rounds that were like a blowout,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I said, I consistently lost, but I only had 2 rounds that were a straight up loss.
Yeah.
And that was one of them was to Mike, who came on our team. I happened to get paired against him instead of you this time, and he
Oh
just
my
absolutely
God.
dog walked me.
And that stupid Piet. He ran a double green Piet deck.
Yeah.
Piet Data Vault. Oh
That
my God.
it plays a card. It gets up to like a million resources, which is like mana in Magic, but it gets up to a crazy high number of resources. Plays a card that says reveal them one at a time, and he basically ends the game like that. So, but yeah, the only other one that just outright stomped me was a Boba Yellow deck at the end there that I just couldn't keep up with the indirect
The new
damage.
Boba.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new red Boba that came out in set 4.
Yep. But every other game, I won game one like pretty heavily handedly,
Right.
and then game two and three were within. Two of them were within 2 points, and I had lethal on the board, claimed the initiative,
Man.
and they managed to sneak out 2 more damage. And then the rest was within, I think the furthest away I was from winning and still took a loss was like 7
Which is
damage
really
away.
which is really not that much.
That's what I said. So like the whole day, it was basically like flipping a coin, and it just kept coming up tails. None of them were. I'm not upset at all with the way I played, or like the people I played were all super
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
I just wasn't lucky.
That was one thing I definitely was surprised a little bit, that we consistently played against really cool people.
Yeah.
Like I didn't feel once like I was being talked down to
No,
or
yeah.
insulted or just kind of rushed.
Mhm.
I definitely didn't think I was being edge shot in any of those games. There was a couple of times I had to slow my opponent down. I'm like, hey, whoa, I've got a trigger here I need to resolve before you start doing a bunch of stuff.
Mhm.
And so there was a few times where I did that, but for the most part, it wasn't they weren't doing it intentionally.
Yeah, so round one, I played against an older guy who came with his 16-year-old son. He said he had 3 kids, and that's why he got into it. And so I got round one win against him.
Sure.
And then we were just being friendly and stuff like that. And like in the round one win, I gave him a piece of advice for like something you shouldn't do against my deck. He didn't do it again, and he beat me round game two and game three and took the round. Super nice guy. Round 2, I went against a girl who was there with her boyfriend. She wasn't super confident in the game, was fairly
Right.
new to it.
Right.
She was playing the Han 2 Blue,
Hmm.
and
Yeah, that's a different list. Usually we've seen a lot of Han to Data Vault.
yeah, or no, she was playing Data Vault. You're right.
Oh, okay.
She was playing Data Vault, and she was, like I said, she was extremely nice,
Hmm.
and she was a little slow just because she was kind of getting used to it.
Right.
But she piloted the deck very well. Like she knew exactly what she needed to do. It just kind of took her a minute to weigh her options on resources and stuff.
Gotcha.
Again, I kind of took game 1 with ease. Game 2 and game 3, she just beat me out like straight up. There's nothing I could like. She was one of them that game 3 I was 2 points away from killing her.
Yeah.
And she wound up killing me with a Poe Dameron and a discard because he does on
Man.
attack.
Yeah,
If you
'cause he
discard a
can do it
card,
on
deal
attack
2
and
damage
deal
to a
2
base,
damage. Yep.
and that's what did it. And
And a lot of people are like so like thinking that, um, like DJ was a problem.
mhm.
I'll admit, yeah, DJ was a problem. But like a lot of people are like, oh, this card or that card is like really a big problem right now. And what was it? Uh, no glory, only results is a big like we're seeing a lot of play with it. We're seeing Data Vault being like the base that's played a lot. I really feel like people don't see Poe Dameron as big of a threat as he actually is.
I think it's just because there's a fair homogenization of the meta right now
Yeah.
since the most recent restrictions. Like, yeah, Poe is a very scary card, but so is Cad, so is Luke, so is No Glory. So
Yeah.
there are enough of them in different color schemes. Obviously, like Cunning is still the strongest color, I think,
Right.
but there are enough of them to dissuade it. And Poe is awesome, but he's kind of a one-trick pony. If you can keep him from attacking, then
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah. But I mean, it's like it's one of those like if your deck doesn't have like knowing that you're going to be probably going up against aggro decks,
mhm,
and if you're playing against red heroic decks in any form, even if it's not a pure aggro deck, it's like a mid-range deck or something, you are more than likely going to encounter Poe Dameron.
sure,
And so if your deck is not prepared to deal with him, he's going to run right over you. I mean,
sure.
because on the attacks, that's the big thing is like in this set, like one of the most popular decks we saw there was happened to be the deck that I was running was Vader Green.
Vader
And
Yellow.
I'm sorry, Vader Yellow. Green Vader Yellow.
Yep.
And the fact that Poe can not only pitch a card to defeat a upgrade,
hmm
which hits pilots, which
Right.
hits leader pilots, he also then can ping for 2 damage on that same attack. So not only are you getting in for 6 damage because he's a 5 cost 6/6,
hmm
and in the Han deck he's a 4 cost 6/6.
Right.
So he swings in, he's going to deal
Well, he'd be
6
a 4
damage.
cost 6/4.
Well, sure,
Technically.
with the damage on him, is 6/6 with 2 damage on him. But
Yeah.
still, I mean that's 6 damage coming into your base,
Right.
Because he's going to attack your base in that deck, guaranteed. And then he goes, okay, cool, I'm going to go ahead and kill your Vader leader, and then I'm also going to deal 2 damage to whatever,
Yeah.
on your side of the board.
A key point to take away there, though, is if you're playing a pilot leader deck and you go into a red heroic deck, maybe consider deploying it on the ground.
Oh yeah, no. So anyway, you were talking about the rest of your matches. Let's get back to that because I don't want to just bogard.
Oh yeah, I was basically just talking about the friendly people that I was
Yeah.
playing. Most like so round 3, I went up against an older retiree veteran. He was a corpsman in the Navy.
Gotcha.
He and I that was the one round that I took a win because
Mhm.
he was just there to have a good time. He wasn't a super competitive guy,
Gotcha.
and like neither was I. Honestly, I wasn't there super heavy or anything. I knew what I brought, and so he and we finished our 2 games. I took both of them, and then we just sat and talked for like 35 minutes because they went pretty quick. And like just super
Cool. Was he
nice guy.
running?
And he was another Boba Yellow.
Okay.
He just nothing against the guy. He just wasn't as good at running it as the next guy that I played. And he also drew kind of bad in his defense. Like he did have some dead draws in the second game.
Yeah.
If he had taken the second game, I'm cursed. He would have taken the third.
Probably.
Yeah. So round 4, I went up against. I'm trying to remember 4, 5, 6, and 7. I honestly can't remember all the things I went up against. But
I mean, you went against Mike.
round 4 was
Round
Mike.
4.
Round 4 was the Piet Green. Yep. And he, like I said, he just puts out so many big capital ships. Me,
Right.
my one trick, because I think that's really the big detriment to my deck, and it kind of explains why I can take round 1 and then get beat 2 and 3,
Mhm.
is that the thing it does really well, which is put big things out, make them bigger, and hit your base really hard.
Right.
But as soon as you see that done once, you just know I don't have a ton of units. I'm not going super wide.
Right.
You just know when I put something down, kill it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to get scary quick, right? And so when people figure that out, it's just kind of easy to defeat. Now, Mike, I've already played him against this deck multiple times. We sat down when we were paired against each other. I tried to swap him with the guy beside me, and I said, hey, man, you want to trade? And he goes, no, I already played that guy. I don't want to play him. But, yeah, so he, again, just dog walked me. He, we played for fun. But I had no shot. Like, I don't think any chance whatsoever I could have won that game. And then, yeah, after Mike, the last guy was another Boba Yellow. He killed me. And then 5 and 6, who did I play?
Did you play any Iden?
I played another Han. I just can't remember who it was that was running it.
Was it Han Green?
Yeah, it was another Han Data Vault.
Was it the French guy?
No, I played that guy in St. Augustine.
Yeah.
He was playing Han Yellow then.
Yeah.
Han 1 Yellow.
Because he was a real cool dude. I ran into him and I started chatting with him because, we had a good match.
Yeah. And then you played against a guy that I also played in St. Augustine, the Saber 4.
Yeah, he was my last round, and he completely wiped the floor with me.
He's an anomaly in that he'll sit there because he wiped the floor with me in St. Augustine when I was running Mall ECL. And I was actually doing a lot better there. I think I went like 4 and 3. But, or no, that was 3 and 3. But he's one that can be absolutely annihilating you and be the friendliest guy ever while he's doing it.
Sure.
So, like,
it just so happens that by the time I actually played him, my voice had almost completely gone.
Yeah.
So I was like literally just doing like, hey man, look, I can't talk. I'm gonna try and just point out the things that I'm doing. I'm gonna like try to show you the cards that I'm playing. And I guess instead of actually talking and saying what he was doing, he just did the same thing. And so we're both just sitting here mute, going back and forth with each other.
No, when I was with him, like I sat down, I always get, we go around, we give people like the weekly play packs and stuff before we sit down and play him. It's just like a friendly, how do you do kind of thing. When I sat down, I was friendly with him, introduced myself, he introduced himself. And so as we're playing the game, he's like, so tell me a little bit about your store. That's 18 to base. And like, so he would just,
like,
as he's kicking my butt, he was, being cordial and asking me about stuff.
Yeah, I always made sure to give him out to especially the people that I beat. And then if I lost to them, but they weren't like a huge jerk about it, I made sure to give them packs too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, let's be fair. Like, nobody likes to be beaten by somebody who's a sore winner.
Yeah. I don't think I ran into any this time.
Yeah. No, like, I think I only had like one match where I didn't feel super great about it, but it was not the guy I was playing against. It had nothing to do with the guy I was playing against. It had everything to do with me just drawing absolute garbage.
Yeah. I had one bad draw game, but only one. The rest of them I was drawing fine.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what Data Vault did for me. Switching from ECL to Data Vault, I took every card in the deck. I happened to have exactly 10 cards in the deck that I was running 2 ofs.
Mm-hmm.
And I made them all 3 ofs. Yeah. So the deck stayed the same. It just became more consistent.
Right. And then you could take your sideboard and kind of keep it the same order.
Yep. And I got
swap it out.
And I got 8 more health out of it.
Right.
But yeah, speaking of your matchups, how'd they go?
Mirror match game 1, mirror match game 2, mirror match game 3.
Yep.
Then it was Sabine, and then finally, I'm sorry. Yeah, so the first 3 matches were mirror matches. I was playing Vader Yellow.
Kira,
right? It was double Sabines and then Kira at the end, but I'm trying to remember what the 4th match was. Because I went into it, so for game 1 I won. I was playing against another guy who was playing Vader Yellow, and the most unfortunate thing that happened to him. Apparently, at the last PQ, there was somebody, the one that was in Alamonte Springs, because he was there too. Apparently, somebody got a judge called on them because they had one of those double deck boxes, and they had the other deck in the box with the leader and everything in front of it, like most people do. And they got accused of pulling cards from the other deck to play with in their main deck, the deck they were running.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if he was the one that got called on, but somebody got called on that either he knew or something like that. So to avoid any issues with like that, a lot of people were going around saying, "Hey, don't have any cards in there." So he actually pulled his Han, his set 1 Han deck out. Right, and then when he was getting ready in the dark to come, because he didn't live that far away from the shop that we were at uh, Coliseum of Comics in Kissimmee, um, because he had pulled the deck out and then he pulled one of the leaders out and put it to the side to leave it at home, so he wouldn't even be tempted or anything. Like wouldn't even be a chance to be accused. He got there and realized that he took the wrong leader out. He took the Vader leader out instead of the Han. And so he's sitting there without his leader that he has on his deck list. And he's, asking people next to him, like, hey, man, do you have another copy of this leader? He went up to the front. We were literally sitting down to start playing. Like, registration happened at 10. We started playing at like 10:30. And, um, he ran up to the front, was like, hey, I accidentally did this. You guys have another copy of it? And so he's trying to find a copy of this leader. So this deck is valid, but like, time was about to start. Like,
Right.
we hadn't started time yet, but it was within a few minutes that we were starting time when we sat down and he found out. And I could have been a big dick.
Right.
I could have been a huge douchebag and just been like, you ain't got an invalid deck, you lose.
Yeah.
But I was like, I knew this guy from the last PQ we went to. I saw him at the St. Augustine PQ that we went to. And so far, nobody has told me he's been anything more than just, good sport playing. And so I was like, you know what? I have the hyperspace version because Kaylee pulled the showcase.
Yeah, like the day before.
The day before. So I had the hyperspace just ready to go. And I didn't leave it behind. I just pulled it out of the deck and just threw it in my backpack. I was like, I could really be a dick about this, but just go ahead and use this.
Right.
And so I gave it to him. And he was real grateful for it and all that. And they probably would have found him a copy.
I mean, I probably would have just bought some packs real quick and started because you're bound to get one.
Probably. But he was real appreciative, and then I proceeded to beat him 2-0. So
Yeah. So it didn't matter. Anyway.
it didn't really matter in the long run. I still got the win out of it, but oh, excuse me, guys. Yeah, it was one of those, like, I felt bad for the guy, but then I have to remind myself that, like, while you can be a nice guy and you can play against nice people, you're still there paying $40 to play in a competitive scene.
Sure.
If this was like a weekly play, I would have just been like, whatever, man, just use whatever leader you have. We know it's Vader. I've got Vader right here. We know what he does.
Right. Yeah, here's an index card, right? Darth Vader on it.
Right.
Yeah.
But like in a competitive game that we're all paying a decent chunk of change to be in, not to mention the money that we spent to get down there.
Right.
On the one hand, I want to be a nice guy, but at the same time, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
This is you need to be. They're not going to let you get away with this at galactic championships.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely not let you get away with it at a regional. But neither here nor there. Ended up beating the guy anyway. And then game 2, again, another Vader yellow deck. And that was the game that I said, like, I just felt absolutely garbage because I couldn't draw anything. I opening hand, no turn 1 plays. I was like, well, I had one turn 1 play, and it was a tile in. I didn't have anything else to follow it up. I didn't have a pilot to follow it up with. So I was like, I could probably do better. There's like 14 turn 1 plays in that deck. Like 14 to 15 turn 1 plays in that deck. Let me go ahead and toss it back. Drew, not a single turn 1 play. All of them were turn 3.
Yeah. I got lucky. I don't think I win a single game without a turn 1 play.
Yeah, that was just the first game. So he ended up taking the first game. He ended up having it almost felt like he had a response to everything that I played.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to sideboarding. And then he sideboarded in a bunch of cards. And then I was like, okay, I need to make sure that I have some better turn 1 plays. I sideboarded in some confiscates. I sideboarded in my extra eager saltcraft, the one that's the 4/1 ambusher.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sideboarded in that extra one. Took out some of the more later game cards. Shuffled up, went to play. He turn 1 plays. What did he play? I think he played like a Zygerian.
Oh, yeah.
Skyhopper or something.
Yeah.
the 2/3 that when it dies it deals indirect damage.
Mhm.
So he played that, and I'm like, well, man, the only turn one play I have is this uh, first order TIE fighter and a tile in, right? So he took initiative because I had initiative because I lost. So he took initiative after I played the first tile in. Played my second one, go to turn two. He has initiative. First thing he does is he plays the P-38 Starfighter,
Mm.
pings off the raid, the first order TIE fighter. I'm like, great. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna swing 2 on your base then. He's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna swing the Zygerian into your dude. I'm like, great. Activate Vader, create a 1/1 TIE fighter. He goes, yeah, I'm gonna do the same. Creates a TIE fighter. So now he has 3 fighters. You know, he has 3 ships. I'm just like, claim. He goes, all right, cool. Go to next turn. I play my eager assault craft, try to take out his P-38. It kills his P-38, pings my TIE fighter. I'm like, great. He swings in with his stuff, hits me in the face. I, uh, you know, activate, create another TIE token. Um, he still has all of his resources. He hasn't done anything with his resources yet, so he plays a friggin' Phantom,
Mm-hmm.
a TIE Phantom. So I'm just like, man, you're just running away with this game. There's literally nothing I can do about this because if I play something, he's just gonna kill
Yeah.
it. And I had to have something on board, so I just claimed, moved on. The next turn, the only thing I drew was a friggin' Wingman Victor 2, which is a 3/2 on the ground. And I'm like, okay, fine. I play that on the ground. I'm sitting at 5 resources. There's nothing I can really do. He goes, cool, overwhelming barrage, kill your guy. I'm like,
Yep.
all right. I'm like, this is over. Like you've beaten me. There's nothing I can do about this.
Yep.
So he got it 2-0. But then like the next game I ended up winning. So I went into round 4 with 2 wins and 1 loss. Round 4.
Did you play Ray, or did Jones play Ray?
Jones played Ray. No, round 4 I went up against.
Cad.
No, well, no.
Somebody else played Cad. Did Jones have a mirror match?
Jones had a mirror match.
Hmm.
I know my the last. I can't remember what round 4 was. I know I took it because I ended up going into round 5 with 3 wins and 1 loss.
Yep.
Because then I played Sabine. Because it was Sabine, and then Kira at the end. Who was the round 4? Because I was like, yes, thank God I'm not playing a mirror match. And he wasn't playing another meta deck. Oh, it was a P at blue.
Oh, that's right.
It was a P at blue because I was like, yeah, that's what I ran at the Atlanta. And he's like, oh really? He's like, I'm like, yeah. I was like, I kind of know what that deck does. So I need to beat you before you can get to your higher resources. And they were close games.
Mhm.
I think I went 2-1 on that one. I won the first game. He won the second game. I won the third game, and it came down to the very last swing.
Well, that's usually how you win.
Yeah, but I'm saying whoever
I
had the
get you.
initiative, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like whoever took initiative was going to win because he had nothing to be able to deal. Because I saved flipping Vader until the very end.
Yeah.
And was just like, nah, I'm going to put Vader on the ground and hit you for 5.
A lot of times people will forget too if you hold off on flipping your leader, especially if the first, because like I double ramp into Maul all the time.
Yeah.
So I've got my 6-cost leader out like turn 3.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. But sometimes wait till like turn 10. And they think you already played him.
Right.
They claim you flip him and swing in for lethal.
Swing in for lethal.
Yep.
And that's kind of what I did. You know, I hit him for 4 with the TIE Phantom, and I could have put him on there, but I was like, there's got to be. I love this play, right? So, the very last play of the game, I had a first order TIE fighter, right? I had a TIE token out, so it had raid 1 active on it, so it was going to hit for 3 damage. He had 7 hit points left on his base. He goes top target on my first order TIE fighter. And I'm like, okay, if he's taking the time to put a top target on my TIE fighter, he's got to have a way to kill it.
Mhm.
The first card I resourced in that game was Bazine Natal. And
Never resource Bazine.
I always if I have two of them in my hand, I'll resource one of them.
Oh man, she's too good.
She is. She's really good. But you know what's funny is when your opponent doesn't know you have it,
Yeah.
and you tucked it away for a rainy day because you already have the other two. So I'm like, there's got to be something in his hand that'll allow him to kill this right now. And Piet doesn't run ping damage.
No, but it
He
runs
just
no
runs
glory.
removal. Well, no glory wouldn't have helped him because if he no gloried it, I would have collected the bounty.
True.
But I was like, he's got to have something, like either, a takedown or a you're all clear kid or something. I don't know, because I mean, he's Piet. You're all clear is. I knew there was a removal card.
Yeah.
Hell, it could have been a friggin' strike true for all I knew. So I was like, there's got to be at least one card in his hand that is going to mess me up. And I was looking, flipped over. I was like, oh yeah, I've resourced that. I'm going to pay 4. I'm going to play Bazine Natal from resources. And he just goes,
That's right. I forgot she can be smuggled.
Yeah.
I take back what I said.
Yeah, you
can
smuggled
resource
her.
Yeah.
That's why I was like confused. Like, why you never resource? I'm like, no, you resource her because
Yeah.
you can tuck her away for later.
You're right.
Played her from resources, smuggled her, looked at his hand. He had one card, and it was a takedown. Takedown was the only card he had in his hand that could get rid of it that turn.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. That reminds me of something fun that I got to do.
So I was like, yep, we're going to go ahead and get rid of that takedown. He's like, all right. So I got a top deck. And he goes, I got nothing. You win. He's like, I'm done.
So Bazine for the win.
Bazine for the win.
Yep, seen that a lot. One of the fun things I got to do in one game, and it was against the girl that I played. And by the way, just to set the scene for this girl, she had a Sailor Moon deck box, some kind of anime fairy card sleeve. She was wearing like a pink mini skirt. The girl was all dripped out and like, I'm gonna kick your butt and be cute while I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was, I don't know, emasculating the fact that she just whooped me like she did. But anyway, in one game, I got to force throw 2 of her crate dragons.
Oh man!
And so, because crate dragon is scary.
Oh
in
my
that
god,
one
it
deck.
is.
Yeah, because he comes out for 7.
Yeah. Is
So
it nature?
or no, he's a 10 drop,
He's
so
a
he comes
10
out for
drop.
8. Yeah.
No,
but,
he's a 9 drop. He's a 9 drop 10-10.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it comes out for 8 resources, which
Han.
in Han.
Yeah. But so she's got 1 card left in her, or 2 cards left in her hand.
Yeah.
She claimed initiative. She taps, plays a card. I can't remember what it was. It was somewhat insignificant.
Mhm.
And then I was like, force throw. And she just goes, because whatever the thing was, she discards Crate Dragon. I was like, cool, it's dead now.
Yeah.
And so
it's
I had
dead
I had the board. And then like 2 turns later, I just see like an upbeat.
now. Yeah, she's
you
like,
know,
ooh, I
Yeah.
got something.
Yeah. Just a little bit of a tell. And I was like, force throw targeting you. And she was like, she just right again, Crate Dragon.
Damn.
And, yeah. And then 2 times during the day, I got to do my favorite combo in my deck,
Yeah.
which I run Emperor Palpatine,
Yep.
the red 8-drop. I run Force Throw, and I run Palpatine's Return.
Yep.
And so what I'll do is, and it's early in the game, I draw opening hand. I drew a Palpatine, and I drew a Force Throw, and I drew a 5th brother. So turn 2, 5th drop 3 for a 5th brother, and I
Yeah.
just wait until there's something I don't like, right? And so I think it wound up being, what's the ambusher? The 7 health ambusher, 7 or 4/7 in green.
4/7 ambusher in green.
It doesn't matter, but dude plays might not even be an ambusher, but guy plays a space unit. I've only got ground units on the field. It's a 4/7, and it's going to do some damage. So I pay 1 for a force throw.
The Marauder? No, that's a 4/5.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Anyway, 7
so-
health unit in
Yeah,
space.
I've got 5th brother on the field. Pay 1 for a force throw, targeting myself. Throw my Palpatine
Yeah, throw your Palpatine at him.
in the discard pile for 8 damage
Mm-hmm.
and kill the thing.
Kill the thing.
Later on in the game, I draw Palp's Return, pay 6. Palp's Return, I'll bring back Palpatine, and he does 6 damage on entry, and he's 6/6 with Overwhelm. And so you get to use him twice for 7 instead of paying 8 to use him once. Yeah, it's my favorite thing in the game, or in that deck. That and the one I just recently started doing because I just thought of it playing you one day, which is force choking my own super laser tech.
Right.
So play a super laser tech. Next turn, hit your base once, and then force choke it. So he becomes a resource, and I get to draw a card off the force choke.
Yeah.
That's a fun one to do, especially if you have a force unit out, so you can pay 1 to do it.
Right.
So you pay 1, gain 1, draw a card.
You're basically gain 1, draw a card.
Yep.
Well, especially if like a lot of your opponents are playing like vehicles and stuff like that. Like you can't use force choke on anything that
Right.
is a vehicle.
Right, and I almost took it out of the deck because of that. This
Right.
set, there's so many vehicles, but one that's an insta kill on Sabine.
Oh yeah,
You go and get Sabine. I flip Sabine, dead.
Dead.
For 1 usually.
Usually.
My deck, I almost always have a force unit on the
Right,
field.
because Fifth Brother is a 3-draw.
Right. Yeah. Turn 1, I don't have any force units yet.
Yeah.
Next set. But turn 2, I almost always have a Fifth Brother. I just get lucky that way. He's out there pretty often. And if he's not, I've usually got a phase 3 Dark Trooper or a Super Laser Tech. So.
Right, something to put down on turn 2.
Yep. And then the other fun combo in my deck is just turn 1 Lurking Tie or Kylo's Tie. Turn 2 Attach a Vader.
Attach Vader Pilot.
Yeah, it's easy to kill, but if you don't have something for it, it's gonna hurt you fast.
That's 6/5 in space that friggin'
Pings up to
for,
2
for 1, and if it kills something with that ping, can ping again.
because you can ping your own Super Laser Tech with it.
That's true. It doesn't say enemy unit; it just says ping a unit, and if you do, you can ping a base or a unit. So
Yep.
yeah,
You can swing in with it, ramp, and hit the base for 7.
that's a really good combo. But like you said, once people realize that's what you're doing,
Yeah, that's the thing. My deck, it's put a thing out. It's just a little guy. Don't worry. And then they go,
It's
okay,
just
I'm
a
gonna
little
hit your
guy.
base, and then you make it really scary, and then you smack him with it a couple times and win.
Right.
But the first time that you play me, you go, oh, it's just a Kylo's Tie. It's a 3/2. I'll deal with it later. Oh, now it's a 7/5.
Yeah.
that is going to be pinging stuff to death. And then there's an overwhelming barrage to board wipe. I overwhelming barraged one person 3 times in a row.
Jesus,
I had oh, that's what it was. I had Darth Maul with 2 Fallen Sabers on him.
gross.
Yeah, so he's an 11/11.
That hits 2 units and pings them down
Sorry,
twice.
he's a 12/12. Well, they had no ground units. This person was running almost entirely space at the time, but they were going wide. Overwhelming barrage. I hit him for a ton.
Mhm.
Going to the next phase, overwhelming barrage, and I had used it the turn before that on a smaller unit to get rid of like 2 units. But it was
Right.
literally I had 3 overwhelming barrages in my hand, and it was overwhelming to board wipe, hit for a little bit, overwhelming to board wipe, hit for a lot, overwhelming to board wipe, win the game. And that was one that I dealt 33 damage before taking a single damage. And of course, that was a game 1.
Yeah, that was a game 1. Like
Oh,
two-
that's the other thing about this is in all of my game 1s that I won, the most damage I took during a game 1 was 7.
yeah,
Most of them I took none. And so it's like that's why I know the deck does work when it pops off.
yeah.
It's just an easy solution, unfortunately.
I think next set your deck is definitely going to be a lot better.
Mhm.
I think because we were talking about you were considering swapping the leader over to Riva.
Yeah, so when I'm going to be playing competitively, if I'm going to a PQ,
Yeah.
I'm going to throw Third Sister on there because she gives everything hidden.
Mhm.
And if my little guys that get scary can survive a round, that just
Right.
guarantees that I'm going to get at least 1 hit in. Unless you're running hard removal, which most people aren't.
Right.
And so,
Pings and hard removal pretty much are the only thing
Yeah.
that's going to get
Yeah, they
around,
can't be
'cause
attacked.
They can't be attacked.
and so I think that now, obviously, if I'm playing casually or for fun, I'm running Maul because I'm a Maul stan. So I'm gonna keep doing it. But like, I'll throw a couple of the Revan Sabers in there. I'll throw a couple of the Dathomirians in there. It's just gonna be I'm gonna call it the Maul Force Friends deck.
Maul's and his super best friends.
Because that's the main game is make things big, and then everybody goes, yeah, well, I've got Sentinels. Yeah, well, I have Overwhelm, and like that's the way it works.
Like I don't care. I'm going to kill them anyway.
Yeah. And then oh no,
I definitely think Revan Saber is going to be really good for your deck.
Yes.
If you have enough Sith units.
I think I will. I think
I'm
there's
just saying
gonna be
because
play.
I know some of the like the dark side characters, the Force characters aren't Sith. Because like
Yeah.
I know Maul is a Sith, or Darth Maul is a Sith,
But Maul is not.
but Maul is not. He's Underworld and Force.
Right.
And then like third or fifth brother is an Inquisitor,
Right.
Force Inquisitor.
Yep.
So
Yeah, so unless they were a master or an apprentice, like canonically,
Right.
they're not a Sith.
right.
And so while it's irritating, because they are kind of the dark side, and most people associate the dark side with the Sith,
Right.
right?
But then they're also going to be coming out with a bunch of Sith units that are not Force users,
Right.
which can still gain the benefit of the saber, like the sixth the Sith Legionnaire.
Or the Sith Troopers.
It's Sith Troopers.
That's a 1-drop, and then turn 2, you can throw a Sith or a Revan Saber on it.
Right.
That's a scary unit. That's like one of the other ones I run that a lot of people I don't think realize as how good this card is.
Mhm.
Is I'm running Incinerator Troopers for turn 1 because it deals damage first.
Right.
And so if I throw a Fallen Saber on it turn 2, which sure it doesn't get the ping because it's not a force unit, but that's a 5/5
It's
that
a
if
5/5
you don't
that hits
kill
first.
it takes no damage.
Right.
So
If your unit doesn't survive the hit,
yeah.
it's gonna take no damage.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think it's going to be really good. I think you're going to see a lot more of it played when Revan comes out because Revan, the leader Revan, is all about your units attack and kill something.
Yeah.
And so I was experimenting with a Revan deck, with a couple of different Revan decks on Karabast because they have like the preview cards. You can test the preview cards, and I was noticing that on attack triggers that kill units don't trigger Revan. You have to deal combat damage, meaning you have to attack a unit,
Yeah.
deal combat damage, and your unit survives. Then it gets the experience count.
Right.
So I'm seeing a lot of people running it with Grit. I'm seeing a lot of people run it with the Incinerator Trooper because it hits first. There's another one, the Houndstooth.
Yeah.
If the unit is exhausted when he attacks and hasn't been played that phase, meaning if they've attacked with it or if you've exhausted or something like that, the Houndstooth can swing in and deal its damage first.
The downside to this is though that a lot of the cards you're naming are in different aspects,
Yeah.
and Revan is just
Yeah,
villainy.
he's just villainy. So your base has to basically make up for whatever color you're going to run.
or you're going to be paying the penalty,
Or you're going to be paying a penalty.
which is kind of becoming more of a thing now. Like people are becoming more comfortable just paying aspect penalties.
Yeah, I mean, look at Mike.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't usually pay them. He resources them.
He resources them. But even then, he just plays it anyway because he just ramps to all heaven.
Yeah, because that's
I mean-
the Endless Legions. It doesn't say, excuse me, it doesn't say paying its cost. It just says reveal them and play them.
for free,
Yep.
one at a time.
Which
The
that
biggest-
that combo he's got in there. So he's got a combo where he'll resource 3 Mahdi's, which when it dies, it's a unique unit that when it dies, you ready a villainous unit. So he'll play the first one out, and then he'll play something out, and then he'll play the second Mahdi, kill the first one to ready the big thing that he played, like a Devastator or something. And then he'll play something else out. And then he'll play the third Mahdi to kill the second Mahdi to play something else out. And then he'll maybe like play something that deals damage and kill that third Mahdi to ready the fourth thing. So now you've claimed he played an Endless Legions. He's got like a Devastator, an Annihilator, an Avenger, and something else, and they're ready. Like he can deal like 36 damage in a turn.
In a single turn.
Yeah. So you that's the crazy thing about that deck is you think you've got him. Like I had him one game. It was like 28 because he's running Data Vault. It was like 28 damage to nothing. He hadn't dealt a single damage to my base because he doesn't care to. And then I claim the initiative thinking I've got him. Lethal on next turn, and he goes Endless Legions, and I know it's coming. I just don't think that he's going to have the Super Christmas hand.
Right.
But when you're 13 turns in and you're resourcing everything, you always have it. Like. And so, yeah, he deals over 33 damage in one turn. It's disgusting.
Oh, and we gave him a very horrifying idea to add to his deck.
Yeah, when we were setting a Chick-fil-A on the way back.
Crate Dragon with 3 clones.
Yep. Yeah,
Go
three
ahead,
Crate
play it
Dragons,
hard.
3 clones. Which,
Yeah.
if it happened,
Because
like-
Crate Dragon is not unique.
no.
So just, here's a Crate Dragon, here's a Crate Dragon, here's a Crate Dragon, and here's a clone, here's a clone, here's a clone. Now I
Yeah.
have 6 Crate Dragons
6
on
Crate
the field.
Dragons.
There are 10/10s with Overwhelm, and you play one thing.
Yeah, play a 1-cost card.
Pay a 1-cost card, and you're going
that's
to take
6
6 damage.
Yep.
Yeah, for every cost in the next card you play.
Yeah, if you do happen to play a Super Laser Blast to try to get rid of them, you have killed yourself no matter what base you're running.
Yep.
The only chance you would have is if you had 0 damage on your base, okay? And you play a Raise the Shield Gate, whatever it is, that defeat the next damage to your base, and
Prevent
then
the
you
next
Super
damage.
Laser Blast. If you did that, you would protect yourself
By 1.
by 1. Or no.
No.
Yeah, you would, because the 5 times 6 would be 30. So if you're running 33 and you have less than 3 damage, you've got 3 health left. You then Super Laser Blast, all of that damage is blocked.
They're separate instances.
Oh, you're right. They would be separate instances. So yeah, there's no saving you.
Yeah, no saving you.
You have 6 great dragons out. There's no saving yourself.
At that point, you might as well just give up.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, he's just going to hit you 6 times with a 10-10.
And we know, like, logically, that's not going to happen. Like, it would be 40 games before that combo finally drops out. But when it does, could you imagine the look on the other person's face? I'm facing 6 crate dragons.
Hell, even if he had just had 4.
Yeah.
Even if he just had 1 crate dragon or 2 crate dragons and 2 clones that just
It's the same thing. You can do the same thing with Snoke, too.
Yeah.
Let me have 6 Snokes out on the field. Everything's a minus
Well,
12,
you can't do
minus 12.
Snoke because he's unique.
Oh, you're right. You can have 4, though.
You can have 4 Snokes, but that's -8, -8
to everything.
Everything on their
Almost
board.
everything dies on entry. Yep. But I liked the flavor of it. Because Endless Legions, the card, is based off of Rise of Skywalker whenever Palpatine reveals the fleet he's been building in secret the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the thought of, while he's revealing that, just crate dragons and Emperor Snokes are falling from the sky. Speaking of falling from the sky, Jones, our other teammate,
Yeah.
has pointed out that Purrgil are space units that are not vehicles. So you can attach
Yes.
Grievous's wheel bike, lightsabers, hot shots,
Jesus.
like DL-44 hot shots, or
Yeah.
hot shot heavy blasters.
It's too bad they're not Force units because that'd be even hilarious, even more hilarious.
Yeah, which I think they should be. Don't they use the Force to go
I
light
think
speed?
so. I don't think so.
I'd have to rewatch Rebels to see, but I thought that they were Force creatures that use the Force to travel at light speed.
I have no idea. I didn't watch Rebels.
Oh,
I've been getting around to it. I've tried to go back and watch Clone Wars again.
Mhm.
I'm having such a hard time.
You
to get
don't have
past
to
the
watch
first-
Clone Wars to watch Rebels.
I know, but I kind of want to go back so that way I'm fully well versed in everything that happened in Clone Wars,
Yeah.
so I can get an idea of what a lot of these characters are. Because even though I didn't care for them, I did still see the sequel trilogy.
Mhm.
I haven't watched Resistance yet, and I'm not really sure if I want to because it just doesn't interest me.
See, I held off on Rebels for a long time for the same reason. I thought that it was like a kid's show, whereas Clone Wars was, sure, it's a cartoon, but it was kind of geared towards like older teenagers.
Sure.
And so there's some adult aspects in there that, but Rebels is just a well-made show through and through.
No, yeah,
Like-
that's not the reason why I've kind of held off. Is that when I was coming up, Rebels wasn't a thing. Like,
Right.
I was much older when Rebels came
Well,
out.
I'm not that young. It wasn't a thing when I was growing up.
Look, I'm just saying, I saw all 3 of the prequel trilogies in theaters. I almost am old enough to have seen the Return of the Jedi in theaters.
Yeah.
I was 2.
I didn't get to see it, but I could have seen. I could have seen all of them in theaters. I was born in '95. I wouldn't have really been able to pay attention to Phantom
No.
Menace.
But I did watch the sequel trilogy. I've held off on Resistance. I didn't watch Rebels not because I thought it was a kid show, because I did hear enough about it. It was like, okay, yes, it looks like a kid show, but there's a lot of themes and episodes that really focus on some dark stuff. It was mostly just we didn't have cable, right? From the most part, like my teenage years, we really didn't have cable, and we really didn't watch a lot of TV to begin with. So I never really could catch it on. Now that I'm older and I've got a kid and she's watching a lot of these cartoons, I'm gonna try and gear her towards watching things like the Clone Wars, Rebels, things
Right.
like that to get her into it, because eventually we are gonna want to watch Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
I've heard it. I've heard good things.
I've heard
about
it's
it.
good, and I mean, honestly, in my opinion, can't really go wrong with Jude Law. But I've heard that it's Space Goonies, and I like Goonies. I like space.
Right.
So I'll definitely get around
And
to
see,
it.
there's a kid, like a little kid show that I
Yeah,
think
Ronan watches it.
that
It's
deals
the
the younglings,
yeah
right?
with Kai Brightstar is the main one.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's way back in the past. Like Yoda's still alive in
Mhm.
it, but he's definitely young. Like he's definitely younger. I can't remember the
Because my
exact
nephew
timeline.
watches it.
Yeah, my son watches it, and he really likes it.
Mhm.
It is a cute little show, and it's basically like, think of like Backyardigans level childish
Sure.
show. So like there's a moral lesson in each one, but
Yeah.
they are learning
Like
the Force and
Pirates
wielding
of
their
Neverland
lightsabers
or whatever.
Yeah, basically. There's Jake and the Neverland Pirates.
Yeah, that one.
It's honestly that's about an exact correlation. It's very much that show, but Star
With
Wars.
Star Wars. So.
But yeah, it's fine. It's cute. I don't really have any complaints about that show. But I also have not seen Resistance.
Mm.
And I'm for no reason other than I just haven't gotten around to it. They're still.
And like I said, I've looked at it. I've seen a couple of like clips for it. It never really interests me.
As much as I use Von Reg's TIE Fighter, I think I'm going to start watching it.
Just so you can,
Just
you
out of
know.
respect for that card. That thing has saved me games.
I mean, it's a really good unit, a 3/4 for 3 in space that has an upside.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is, it's great. It's fine on its own. It's an okay card. Throw a Vader on it. That thing is unstoppable. Like,
Yeah, because at that point it's a 6.
it's a
6/7.
It's a 6/7 with raid 1 and overwhelm.
And overwhelmed. just
And it
naturally.
pings up to 2 on attack. Like, that thing is a game ender.
What it sounds like is Vader is just a really good card.
It sure is. That's why I just bought a hyperspace. And it's undervalued. In my opinion.
Yeah.
I just bought a hyperspace Vader for $21.
And the thing is I feel like people are undervaluing it because of such a heavy prevalence of upgrade removal.
But here's the thing, though. I'm going to die on the hill of, and sure, people are going to have their arguments against it. I think that Vader is the best pilot in the game. Because if you don't have a unit to put him on, or you are worried about confiscate or upgrade removal,
Yeah.
he's a 7/7 force unit on the ground.
Oh yeah. No. He's scary as hell on the
Yeah.
ground.
Like, he is, I think, in my opinion, he is the only pilot that is just as scary put on the ground.
Oh, 100%. Because, I mean, he's a 6-drop.
Yeah.
So he's a 6-drop 7/7 force unit, which is a relevant trait.
You can palp return him for free.
100%.
So you can play him so take the risk,
Yeah.
play him as a pilot. Oh no, he got defeated. I'll take him back, please.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
Don't get me wrong. I think the best target for Palp's return is either going to be Palpatine himself, Emperor Palpatine,
Or Darth Vader.
I was going to say Darth Maul. Or not Maul, Darth Maul, but
Maul.
Maul.
And
Because-
Vader. So that's the other great thing about the deck that I run is I run 3 Mauls, 3 Vaders,
Yeah.
and 3 Palps returns. So the game that I was playing against Mike the other day, I played 7 Vaders, I think.
Jesus.
Or no, it was 5 Vaders. 'Cause I can't play 7.
Yeah.
But I played out 2 Vaders naturally,
Mhm.
and then Palps returned it 3 times
Jeez.
because he kept board wiping me, and I was like, I'm just gonna keep putting
Just
stuff out
keep
there.
putting
Like,
it out. I think that's the one thing that that I'd like to see a little bit more of. Maybe not necessarily a huge swath of it, but a lot of
Recursion?
like recursion.
Yeah.
Bringing things back from the discard pile.
See, I thought Mother Talzin would be doing that.
Yeah.
Me and Jones were talking about that. I think, and he disagrees with me a little bit. He has a different idea, which is equally as good. I think that Talzin, thematically, should have pulled things from the graveyard and given it +2, -2. Because when she resurrects like Savage Opress, he's way stronger, but he's not quite as durable.
Right.
Right? So I think that her ability, and maybe even like defeated at the end of the phase.
Yeah.
So what if her ability was like pay 1, return a unit from your discard pile to the field, or to the whatever arena, give it +2, -2 for the phase, defeated at the end of the phase. So I guess it
it'd
would
have
have
to
to
return
also
ready.
ready it. Yep. And that's
And if
pretty,
it
that's
does
pretty
return
good.
it ready, then you might not be able to give it the bonus to attack to make it more balanced.
Well, maybe then return it to the graveyard at the end of the next phase. Give somebody some time to kill it. It's kind of balanced. But I know that's a super complicated ability, but I think that I really care about the flavor of the cards. I think they should
Sure.
fit the themes.
Sure. I mean, like if you can exhaust her and use the force to bring something back from the discard pile and just put it back into play.
Oh yeah, so that could be a thing. Like you can. What if there was a deck or a base that said use the force ready an exhausted unit,
Sure.
right? Because then you could.
Right.
Pair
like,
that
you
with
could
her.
Pair that with Talzin, maybe like a red base, because red is all about untapping things.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I know we haven't seen all of the spoilers yet. I know tomorrow is supposed to be the spoilers for the last 2 leaders that we're missing, and we're thinking it's going to be Cal Kestis and Snoke.
Yeah. Or possibly Mara Jade, because that's what everybody's been talking about the whole
Possibly
time.
Mara Jade. Genuinely, I think I would rather see her as just a unit, but they've already spoiled all of the Legends cards.
Mhm.
At least that's what they say. We're only doing 15 Legends cards, and you've already like shown all 15 cards, so we may not get a Mara Jade.
Was there anything? I know they leaked way early on. Some guy on Reddit leaked Revan and Mara Jade as potentials. The way that he found that information out was by searching the SWU database. I'm not a coder or anything, but he searched out the word Revan and the word Mara, and there were confirmed results.
Right.
But Mara having a confirmed result could be Marauder or
Right.
So whether like I don't know if there were any cards that came out called Marauder or with the word or the letters Mara in order in its name.
There are several.
Okay, well then that's probably what it would have been. But I don't really know what she would have done anyway.
I don't know, because I mean, in the Timothy Zahn books, she's she's the left hand of the Emperor, so she's an assassin basically.
Sure. But you could if you control Luke and Mara, you can create a Jedi token.
They're just making babies. No, but I think if you can, I think it would be an interesting thing for them to dip back into what they did with Rey and Kylo, where if you control one, you could play the other without
paying its aspect penalty. Yeah, that would be cool.
Like if you control a Luke as either a leader or a unit, you can play Mara without her aspect penalty, or vice versa. And I know she basically becomes a smuggler for a while, and then I didn't read the last book in that trilogy. It kind of got ruined, thanks to a 10-year-old who doesn't know how to put a lid on things. But that being said, I still really would like to have seen more legend stuff come out, because really all they did was focus on the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic,
Right.
And I would have liked to have seen other legend stuff.
I would have liked to have seen it, and I still would like to see it. But I do think that it's smarter on their part, on Fantasy Flight's part, if they don't do everything all at once that everyone wants, because it kind of keeps you in. Right. Like if right away, because everybody wants Bane, everybody wants Revan, everybody wants City,
Well, and then we already know that the next set's going to be called Secrets of Power.
Right.
So we're probably going to get some more Legends cards.
That's
in
what
that
I mean.
set.
They should trickle them in. They shouldn't, because also you don't want one set that's just way better than every other one.
Fair. I mean, that's Jedi Guardian, Consular, and Sentinel all coming out.
Yeah.
And then you also got I think we already had a Jedi Knight from the last set. Or no, that was Republic Knight.
Yeah, there was Knight of the Republic.
Knight of the Republic. So, I mean, maybe Jedi Knight too. I tell you, I've been seeing a lot of chatter about the new Kanan.
Oh, the Blue Kanan?
Yeah, the leader.
Yeah, Jones is going nuts about it.
Oh my God.
Because he runs synergies, right?
Yeah, it's all about if you have specters or creatures, and so you just run the blue he wants to build it double blue.
Yeah.
And run specters and creatures.
And the reason he got super excited is because of the Mythosaur, which is a Mandalorian, which I think is hilarious. Sure, it's from Mandalore.
Sure.
And it is the subject of the religion of Mandalorians.
Yeah.
Or it's at least an idol in their religion. So, I get the fact that Mandalorians worship the Mythosaur, but is the Mythosaur a Mandalorian? And does geographically being Mandalorian count as being a Mandalorian? Who knows? But Fantasy Flight decided yes.
To be fair, the first time you ever hear about a Mythosaur is in the Christmas special, which is also the first time you meet Boba Fett.
Right.
And he's riding a Mythosaur. So they ancient Mandalorians apparently trained the Mythosaurs as mounts.
Okay, but by that logic, was Jesus' donkey a Christian?
Sure.
Do you get what I'm saying?
No, I get it.
I'm not saying I'm not upset. I think it's neat.
Sure.
I don't think it makes sense.
I mean, the ability on it's funny as hell, though.
Yeah.
It makes your leader into a Mandalorian.
I know. So now Kanan shares Mandalorian trait.
I don't think he shares the trait.
So it's Kanan's ability, which I don't want to have to pull it up. I thought that whatever traits are keywords.
You're thinking of Ghost, Heart of the Family.
That's right. So if you're running Kanan, you're running a Spectre package.
Right.
If you're running a Spectre package, you're running Ghost.
Yep.
Ghost shares the traits.
Shares keywords.
Keywords amongst your units. So I guess it wouldn't be Mandalorian then.
No. Keywords are Overwhelm, Raid,
What keywords
Restore.
does the Mythosaur have?
I don't know, but I can look it up real quick.
I can probably get it faster. I've got it in my text right now.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Because I know I think it has one. I think it's probably Overwhelm, if I had to guess.
Shielded.
Shielded? Really?
Here it is. Yep. Friendly upgraded units can't be exhausted or returned to hand by enemy card abilities. Friendly leaders gain the Mandalorian trait.
That's gross.
Yeah. Oh, and then the new Ahsoka Tano is new Chewie. She's good too. Yeah. She new Ahsoka. She's a 6-drop, 5/6. Not a 6-drop, 6-cost leader.
Okay.
On attack, give a friendly unit Sentinel for this phase.
I was kind of hoping she was going to be the Mono Hero unit, or Mono Hero leader.
I think that should be Revan.
That would actually be funny if they like, haha, fooled you, and
Yeah.
they gave us like a hero Revan.
Yeah. Or waited another set to do it.
That's true too, because they could do that. But I have noticed that they've basically tried to keep everything balanced. Other than the starter deck leaders, they have everything balanced as a common and a rare leader for every combination of aspects.
Yeah.
So we already know what the leaders are going to be this go around. It's going to be Darth Maul, and it's going to be Qui-Gon Jinn.
Qui-Gon, which awesome.
Red and yellow.
Mhm.
And then we've already seen that Kanan is blue hero, and now Ahsoka is blue hero. So one of them is a rare, one of them is a common. And then villainy, I think we're going to get blue Snoke as the villain leader.
I think that's already. No, they're expecting that tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Mother Talson's the blue
She's
villainy.
green.
Mother Talson's blue.
Morgan Elspeth is green.
Morgan Elspeth is green.
Yep.
So she's green villainy. Obi-Wan Kenobi is a green hero. Who else have we already seen? Either way.
Maul, red villainy.
Well, yeah, we already said that. But
Oh, yeah,
there's
the
a starter
starter
deck
decks,
leader.
yeah.
Because they're like extra leaders in the
Yeah.
colors. They don't match the whole like this all the way through.
Third sister.
Third sister is red villainy. Yeah, and then we have Revan, who's just this one-off.
Right.
It's just a mono.
So everybody
villain
kind of expected a mono hero.
a mono hero.
Which maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. I'd also kind of like to see some bases that might run like hero and villain aspects too. I
Yeah.
mean, we've been talking about that. Who knows? Maybe we'll see something like that in Secrets because we just recently got a colorless base.
Honestly, that would be perfect for Revan. Run Revan as a mono villainous with a mono heroic base. It might not be a good deck,
Oh, probably not.
but
'Cause-
being able to dip into black
Black
and
and
white
white,
cards
yeah.
and gray cards with no aspect.
well,
penalty.
because we've seen an increase in mono villainy cards in this set. You know, with Tyrannus, with Malik. There's a couple, the Revan Saber and things like
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
So who knows? I mean, you might get to the point where running a mono black deck would be viable because I mean, you can already kind of do it with Lake Country.
There's also always the chance that, like, clearly leading up to this point, check all the meta stats, excluding Sabine and maybe Han. Villainy is the stronger side,
Right now, yeah.
and I mean, it kind of has been the whole way, right? Except for, like I said, the aggro decks.
Right.
If you look at the actual like breakup of the cards, villainy is stronger.
Right.
So it could always
right.
just be that now that Revan's out and the mono villainy and all of the mono villainy cards are out,
Mhm.
it could just start shifting to heroic to kind of even things out over the next couple sets.
Yeah, because I mean, that's the thing is like, villainy has not really had any good aggro decks.
Yeah.
Like pure aggro decks, not like Sabine.
Kylo Red was pretty hard.
Kylo Ren is like a one of.
Yeah.
A one off, and
And it's kind of a glass cannon.
yeah, it folds so quickly.
Yeah. But it is about as aggro as you can get.
True, but compared to like heroic, you know, heroics had Anakin Blue, has had Sabine ECL, Sabine Data Vault, Han, the Han 2
Mhm.
green, very heavy aggro. Quinlan is very heavy aggro. He has a lot of control because he's in yellow,
Yeah,
but
he is.
he is still a very aggro centric deck. He does not hit top end cards.
Right.
He tries to kill you before
He's
that.
running a bunch of 2 and 3 drops.
Right. I guess
6
Vader
would be like his main.
Vader, the new, Vader 4 yellow is probably the closest thing that we've had to a true aggro deck in villainy. Because there's really not a whole lot of control in that deck.
Yeah.
You've got a couple of waylays, you got a couple of overwhelming barrages, but I mean, overwhelming barrage is just, if you're running green villainy, you're running overwhelming barrage.
I don't know. I think it's a little sacrilegious to call a green and yellow deck the only true aggro deck. But I get what you're saying. It is the hardest hitting, fastest, probably.
And I think that's what I kind of mean as aggro is
Yeah, yeah.
it hits hard fast, whereas a lot of your villainy decks that hit hard, like Maul,
Yeah.
are more mid-range.
But it's really doing that though as a combo deck more so than it is as straight up aggro, because it's not ambush and overwhelm, ambush and overwhelm, ambush and overwhelm. It's more like I play this and then now I'm going to sneak attack. Now I'm going to like it's more of a combo deck than. But yeah, it definitely behaves aggressively.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Speaking of things not doing what they're meant to do, I'm gonna tell everybody what we've been kind of tinkering with today. What are you building over there?
It's a surprise.
Oh, okay, my bad.
No.
By the time this gets posted, we'll already have them done.
I was gonna say I already mostly have mine done. So while we were down in Kissimmee, we were kind of like we all didn't do super great. Like we did okay, but we didn't do super great. So we were all a little like down in the dumps. And so
yeah, I also say I lost the last round really fast, so I had some time, so I bought a carbonite pack.
yeah. So he bought a carbonate pack, and this guy has the worst luck when it comes to cracking packs. I have cracked naturally like at least 10 showcases. He's cracked one naturally.
And I gave it to him.
Yeah, and I bought it from him.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I have bad luck though. I pull a lot of legendaries.
No. I'm not saying like
But
bad luck.
showcase hunting, I'm
Yeah,
terrible. Yes.
yeah. Bad luck on cards, no. Bad luck on showcases, yes.
Yeah.
One carbonite pack, and he cracks open the rose.
Yeah, the cheapest showcase you could possibly get. But a win's a win.
$36 for a Rose Tico showcase.
Yeah, and as we're leaving the event, I'm like, man, that last boba that we played, I really liked the way that plays. I think maybe I'm gonna play boba because it's kind of my play style. It's a little mid-range control-y with the ping damage, and thematically I just like Boba Fett, and so I was like, I think I'm gonna build a boba deck. And you and I had decided to split a carbonite box.
Yeah, because like they had carbonite boxes, and those are very rare and hard to get, and they were selling them reasonably priced. I mean, there was like $230 for it.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, bump it. Like, I really shouldn't have spent a lot of money, but I was like, bump it. If you want to split it with me, cool, we'll split it. And so we went in on it, and we decided to wait until we got to the Chick-fil-A because we went for dinner afterwards. And while we're sitting there, he was like, how do you want to do this? Well, I was like, well, let's draft packs. I'll pick 2 packs and give you one. You pick 2 packs and give me one. So that's how we split the box, because there's only 12 packs in a carbonite box.
Right.
We each get 6. So he's cracking them. And the last pack, I pulled the last 2 packs out. I handed him one. I took the last one. We cracked the last packs. And he goes, so remember that deck we were talking about? And he cracks open a friggin' Boba Fett showcase.
Which it's also worth mentioning that the reason I bought the carbonite pack to begin with was because the guy's like, we only have one left in that box. And I was like, well, it's the last one.
It's the last
And
pack.
I said, they had opened it that day. And I said, anybody pull a showcase? And he goes, well, nobody got super excited when they opened them. And I said, I'll take it. It's a rose, but...
I mean, but it's still a showcase.
Yeah. So what we decided to do with those showcases that I pulled that day, he's going to build rose, double blue, aggro, and I'm going to build boba.
This is so not going to work.
Double red control. So the goal is to, I'm just going to be doing a ton of like hard removal and ping damage.
Ping damage and discards.
Yep.
And then I'm not putting, there's one removal card in the deck. Only one, and it's Nebula Ignition.
Yeah.
Because I decided I'm going to go pilots. So I'm heavy into pilots. So the goal is to upgrade all of my vehicles and then just Nebula Explosion and swing for the win.
Yep. Hey, what we could do? We could play them here next week.
Oh, yeah, totally. We can do it on stream.
Yeah, okay.
If you guys, hit us up in the comments if you guys want to see that happen. Cool. We'll make sure. We'll make it happen. If not, we're still going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Because we like having fun.
No, we can still carry a conversation while we're doing it.
Well, sure. But yeah, no, I'm down. Hopefully Tesha will be feeling better by then. It took me almost a week to get better, and I'm still not fully recovered.
Yeah.
So, like, hopefully, I think she got the same thing that me and my
It's
kid
been going
got.
around a bunch. Yeah.
People were worried it was the COVID, and I went and got tested, and it's not COVID.
How much time do we have left?
About
About a half hour?
About a half an hour.
Cool. How would you like, because I know that like one of the reasons you wanted to bring me on was to talk about like things going on in the store,
Yeah.
or even just generally giving my spiel about like why I did,
Yeah, sure.
all this. But how would you like to announce, because I have decided we are going to do it,
Okay.
logistics, this is tentative as long as nothing stops us from doing it.
Sure.
How would you like to announce the thing we talked about on the way home the other day?
Now you're making me remember something that happened.
Second week in August?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Braden. So,
If you say anything wrong, that's fine. I'll correct the details.
well, sure. He's going to be here to correct me anyway, because I'm always wrong. And Braden can never be wrong.
It's true. I was once.
Once, and it was the most horrible day. So, in August, the second week of August, so hopefully the kiddies will be back in school by then.
Yeah, I think it's the 10th and the 11th tentatively.
Yeah, tentatively, we're talking about the 10th and 11th, so the first weekend in August, or the second weekend of August. We are planning on hosting a Star Wars Unlimited 2K. 5K? Because I remember the last number I heard was 2K. That's even better. $5,000 prize to be
Yes.
split up amongst the top 8?
No, so all right. So we did originally say a 2K because we
Right.
liked the idea of doing a team event like what was done at the buyout.
Okay. No, now I'm
Yep.
remembering the details better. Go ahead.
So it's going to be a 5K weekend.
Right, 5K weekend. We're splitting it up over Saturday and Sunday.
Right. So Saturday is going to be a 96 player cutoff premier tournament. 3K split up amongst, I don't know, I would say probably top 8. I think that's generally the cut.
Yeah.
And then maybe we'll have some prizes for top 16.
Yeah.
But it'll be a 3K tournament for 96 people. That one is going to be a normal buy-in. I think we were talking. This is all tentative. It may change a little bit here and there, but we're talking about $40 a person.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's pretty much standard from every PQ that we've been
Yeah.
to, and when we went to Seattle, and that was a 10K weekend. It was a $40 entry.
Right. And then Sunday, same weekend.
Mhm.
So maybe get a hotel for the night if you're traveling. It'd probably be worth it.
Yeah.
We're going to do a team tournament, and
Right.
that's going to be a 2K. Winning team take all.
Ooh.
That's going to be, and so the way that the team tournaments work, for people who've never seen them, because I wasn't even familiar with the fact that
Yeah, I didn't
they
know
filled
anything
me
about
in
this
on it,
until we
and I
talked
just,
about it.
yeah, they told me about it on the ride home, and I was like, I want to do that. So, even if we lose money on it, I like the idea. I want to get some people in here playing Star Wars, so we're going to run it. So, again, assuming nothing stops me.
Sure.
But that Sunday, it's going to be a team tournament. And the way the team tournament works, to my understanding, and we may tweak it a little bit, is going to be teams of 3 people. One of those people is going to be a captain. It'll be $100-ish per team. And the way that the teams work is you cannot share a leader amongst the team.
Right.
You cannot repeat a leader. You guys can run heroic and villainous all you want. That's fine. But you can't be Han, or even 2 Hans, right? Same Han.
Same Han, not the different set.
The leader
Hans.
can't be the same.
Right.
What you're going to do is your team captain and the other team captain are going to flip a coin or roll dice, however they decide, and they're going to draft their spots going against each other. So let's say I go first. I'm going to go, okay, this guy, he's running Sabine,
Mm-hmm.
and you're running Hyper Control. So I'm going to have him run into you because I think he can take it.
Right.
Now it's your turn. You've got 2 people left. I've got 2 people left. Since you go second, you kind of have the strong spot, and you get to pick how both of these next 2 games go.
Right.
Right? And so that's another thing to take into account when you pick the first spot.
Right.
Once the teams are paired, they will do a best of 3 in their pairings, and then whichever team wins,
Yeah, the 2 out of 3.
that's a win. Yeah, and you'll literally pair it just like you would if you played one person.
Mhm.
It's either a 2-1 or a 2-0.
Right.
If my team beat your team 3-0, that's a 2-0 victory because we didn't go to a third game, right? Tiebreaker. So that's the way it'll be marketed. But we'll run those all day until we have a clear winner.
Right.
And how many rounds that'll be depends on how many people sign up.
Sure.
But I plan on having these events posted within like the next 2 weeks. As soon as I work out all the details, make sure that we're going to have enough
Right.
inventory in to support it.
I was going to mention that because I know right now the only thing we kind of can get our hands on are just regular set booster boxes.
Yeah. I'm more concerned, like, it'd be nice to make a ton of money on sales and stuff like that. That's not my main concern.
No.
I'm mainly concerned with table space, drinks, snacks, making sure that everybody's here, has a good time, and isn't uncomfortable or anything. So
Right.
as long as I can guarantee that we have enough employees, enough judges, enough space, and enough snacks and food and stuff, we're going to run it. Even if I lose money on the thing, I
Yeah.
don't care. I want everybody to show up, have a good time, and enjoy my store.
Yeah,
Right?
100%. And I mean, really, we've been trying to get people to come and visit us. Every one of these tournaments that we go out to, everybody that we send to different tournaments for the different games that we run,
Yep.
we always send them with like little knickknacks, paraphernalia, things like that, just to kind of advertise the store, encourage people to come down, visit us. We're in St. Mary's, Georgia. If you don't know, it's right there on the border of Florida, right there off of exit. I'd say take exit 1,
We'll take,
go straight down St.
1 or
Mary's
3
Road.
either way.
Yeah.
I want to put this out there because it's a thought that I had this morning. The 5K is self-funded. That's our money that we're just putting in a pot, and we're going to give it away to whoever wins. Hopefully,
Right.
we break even on the day. If you want to sponsor, and if somebody does reach out and decides to sponsor this event and wants to put their name on the side of it or something like that, that prize pool is going to go up. I don't want to take a dime of sponsorship money. So if anybody wants
yeah.
to help raise that prize pool, reach out. I'm going to clip this section where we're announcing it. I'm going to put it up on all of our social medias whenever it's time to announce it.
Oh, 100%.
And we're going to roll with it. But
Awesome.
This is going to happen as long as nothing stops me.
I think it'd be kind of neat if we actually did do like some swag bags.
Yeah,
like,
we'll get some
like
stuff
what
done.
Beattle did,
Yep.
where they had the coin and the
Yeah,
different things.
maybe like an event T-shirt.
Yeah, like an event T-shirt. That'd be kind of cool.
We've got plenty of time. Maybe a play mat to the winner or something like
Sure.
that. Like an exclusive one-of-one play mat.
Oh yeah. We can definitely get something going with that. Even if we just commission it.
I happen to know a guy who's pretty good at leather work, and I bet you I could get a really nice leather playmat made.
Ooh, yeah.
Because I've wanted to make some leather playmats anyway, and I want them to be very high quality so that the more you use them, the nicer they get. They don't crack and
like
break
the
and
soft
stuff.
ones.
Yeah, almost like a rawhide rather than leather.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's the big announcement.
And that's a pretty big announcement. That's probably the biggest thing that we've done. Even comparing it to like the RCQs that we've run before,
and lock-ins and things like that.
Lock-ins and things like that we've done.
I
Like,
actually toyed with the idea of doing the lock-in Saturday into Sunday during the tournament.
Jesus.
Yeah, but I think that might be a little much.
That might be a little much. I mean, especially given that most of these places open their doors at like 10.
Yeah.
And they've been opening 2 hours early to start getting people in and registered.
Right. Yeah. This will be an early day. For us. We
So
for sure will be opening at probably 9 a.m.
I was gonna say we're probably gonna need to open at like 9 to get people in and start getting them registered. Especially if we're gonna like try and kick off the tournament around like 11.
I think like 10:30.
10:30.
Because let's assume because we are in a really good space.
Yeah.
Like not space. I mean geographically, we
Yeah.
are about halfway between Orlando and Savannah.
Yeah.
And not too far from Atlanta. We're not too far from just about anywhere, right? I think we're like 6 hours from New Orleans. So we're in a really good spot where a lot of big cities aren't too far to come and try to win 2K or 3K minimum.
I mean, heck, sign up for both.
Sign up for both. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Come in on Saturday, stay the night, play again on Sunday. Maybe take them both home. Like
there are a decent number of hotels, and if you're military, we literally are right down the street from Kings Bay.
Yep. Yeah. So you also on base, you've got the Navy Gateway, the Navy Lodge. My wife happens to be the AGM at both of them, so the room rates are like $96 a night there if you're military or retired.
I think we were talking about also maybe talking to Dan and seeing about him possibly even catering, but I don't know if we like work.
Oh yeah. So that's the other thing. A lot of these places that we go to, there's like maybe a pizza shop nearby, or like maybe they order pizza at the store, which we could always do that.
Right.
We've got food trucks galore in this town. We've got the Wee Pub right next door. So
literally next door.
Yeah.
So if you end up washing out and you don't feel like playing, you can drown your sorrows over next door at the par.
That's true. Yeah. And there's plenty of food
Not that I would encourage anybody to go out and drink.
I would. It's fun. Don't do it to excess. Be an adult. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. I don't know. I'm going to say tentatively, it is going to happen, and I think it's going to be the biggest event we've ever done.
I'm pretty excited about this because like we were talking about before. Like I went so far as to register as a judge, took the test, passed, and everything like that. And we've been trying to get our store's name, on the registry for like PQs and things like that. But one of their stipulations is we have to be able to handle like 100 people.
Yeah, which size-wise we can.
Yeah,
I need
we
to build a
have the
couple extra
room.
tables, but
Yeah.
I can do that now.
We can do that. You've got a lot of extra time now. Well, not a lot of extra time, but you have more time.
I
than
have
you
more
did.
than I used to. Yeah, for sure.
But that was one of the big things is like we've been kind of stonewalled on registering.
Yeah, and that's a lot of it. Is a lot of the reason for this also is we did get denied a PQ this time around. I understand it. We don't have a ton of people that come in weekly.
Yeah, no hate for like Fantasy Flight or anything like that.
But maybe we run an event like this, we get some more people in, we get approved next time. I'd love to start running PQs.
Right.
But if I can't run PQs, that's fine. We'll start running cash tournaments.
Yeah. I mean, if we can get people in the door and show that we have people showing up regularly, I mean, we have a good core, consistent group of guys that come in, anywhere from 8 to 12 guys, depending on who's in town and who's away for work.
And one of the least toxic play groups of any game I've ever seen.
Oh my God, yeah! Like I've played Magic for years, and I've been to some really toxic groups. I've played a couple of the other games here, and I've kind of felt like it was a very environment, but. No, Star Wars, dude, everybody is chill. Everybody loves to like talk about decks and deck techs and improving your decks. And like you said, we'll sit down and we'll be like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't do this. Maybe you should do this. Like, this is probably your best play. Mom, get the camera. Yeah, no, I am pretty toxic. Apparently we have, Mom, get the cameras in chat. So... He said, wait, dude, you get selected for PQ. Yeah, so no, we didn't get selected for the PQ this go around. And I'm 100% a toxic person to myself.
Who's Wait, Mom, grab the camera. Who
Mom,
is
get
that?
the camera. You're gonna hate me for this because I don't remember. I know it's probably Burke. If I remember right, it's Burke. If it's not Burke, then it's the guy from Ohio. But I'm pretty sure it's Burke. It's Burke's.
Okay.
Dude, I'm just gonna write a note on here somewhere that just says Burke. That, or you need to like preface what you say with like a little colon that just says Burke.
You can always do
colon.
what I do. My username is Spencer Braden 360 on like
my God.
everything.
Such a basic bitch. And
Nobody
that's
ever
my
has to
one for
ask
the
who I
day.
am. Yeah. I mean, other things going on in the store. The D&D podcast has still been going on, taking off.
Yeah,
It's a blast. We did a session yesterday.
You guys are having I think you guys are having a lot of fun with it too.
So I told him this week, I don't care. Like, obviously, I hope the thing blows up so that we can, give these people some money for their time and stuff. But even if we never made a dime off of this thing, it is some of the most fun I've ever had.
Oh yeah.
Like, and every time I'm rewatching these episodes through the edits and then to make sure everything goes to YouTube okay and everything, I'm like belly laughing at.
I was gonna say
episode.
we were here earlier today and I heard you laughing in the back room
while I'm editing them. I'm
editing.
editing the videos and I'm just like cackling to myself when the store's empty because I came in at 6 o'clock this morning to start editing, and I mean because it takes some time. But so I come in that early. There's nobody here. I'm tired with my first cup of coffee, and I'm just like dying laughing. Because I'll say, like, if him saying, what was it? You said ass or something the one time per episode. If you think that's too much, you will not like this show because it is definitely explicit content.
It's kind of just a running joke for me.
I'll say it got and
because if you keep count, it's probably like the third.
Yeah. This last session though got pretty hectic. It was wild, but it's kind of like well, I say most of the people in the session play Baldur's Gate, and so I think that a lot of that has bled over into real life D&D. So we'll see how the.
And I mean, really, like, for all the things that you could do to kind of introduce you to D&D, Baldur's Gate 3 is actually a really good way to do it because of I feel like
the mechanics are there.
The mechanics are very very similar.
Yeah.
Like, I almost say that Larian Studios got leaked the early version of like the 2024
No
rules.
way they didn't. It's
just so similar.
Yes, there's no shot that they didn't. Because like I was playing because I don't play a lot of video games. I play like maybe a game. I haven't played in like almost 2 years a single video game.
Sure.
But now that I'm kind of pulled myself away from the store a little bit and I'm giving myself some free time, I started playing Baldur's Gate. It's the first game I bought in years.
Sure. PC or console?
Console.
Which one?
PS5.
Okay.
But which has sat dormant since my wife bought it.
Sure.
But yeah, so I started playing it today, and I'm not going to give any spoilers for anybody who wants to watch the podcast. But one of the things that we faced in one of our sessions, I ran into in the game, and the art from the 2024 Monster Manual is literally the exact same art that is in the game. So like, there's no way that they didn't have access to it. Did Burks come in too late? Did he miss the announcement?
He hasn't said, but Burks, if you did miss the announcement, hopefully by the time you're back, we are going to be hosting that 5K weekend.
Well, hopefully after you're back.
Yeah, but I said by the time he comes back.
Right.
So he comes back and then we host.
Okay. I would say that's
He
the opposite.
always does this. He always does this. I say something and he corrects me on it.
All right. No, I've bit my tongue every time you've said especially this episode.
I didn't say especially.
Yes.
I said
Roll
especially.
Roll it back. Yeah. Yeah. So Burks will be doing a 5K tournament the second weekend in August. So if you won't be back by then, quit your job. Come back early.
Yeah, no, right?
You'll have, and if you and Mike
Quit your
happen
job,
to
play Star Wars. Go live with Mike.
That's what I keep telling people. They don't do it. I did it. I quit the Navy and started playing Star Wars full time.
True.
Kinda.
Well, that's just about in time for us. We got about 10 minutes. Is there anything else that you can think of that you want to put out there for the people? One thing to note, follow us on our socials. We have, down in the doobly-doo, we have our link to our LinkedIn. It's got our links for Twitch, for Facebook, for our YouTube channel. And if you can, throw us a subscription. Subscribe.
Yeah, that's the thing I'll plug actually. So the people who are in the D&D session, because I'm gonna hop on my horse here for a second on their behalf. These guys are dedicating their own time and some of them their own money in that they're taking off time from work in order to be a part of this session.
Yeah.
Now it's solely for their like passion for the project, right? But right now we just don't have the money to pay them for it. And so they have literally had signed an agreement on the beginning that for the first year they're working for free.
Yeah.
And then in the second year, we're going to discuss how much I'm going to be able to pay them. You know me well enough to know I don't like that. I don't like people working for free.
No, believe
So-
me, I've tried.
Yeah. And so these guys, they're awesome. They're really like, they're not professional voice actors. These guys have real life jobs in the real world. And they're not professional D&D players. Most of us are pretty new to it. Some of them have some experience, some of them not so much.
Yeah.
And so the only way that I'm going to be able to pay these guys is by views and Patreon subscriptions on that podcast. So if you guys are interested in D&D, you like, or even if you just want to support the store and the people that are here for it, Patreon subscriptions is the way to do that.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think I've signed up for the Patreon for at least a month. I have to go back and check my Patreons.
And the cool thing about the Patreon is there's 3 tiers for subscriptions. I don't remember all of the bullets right off the top of my head, but even just tier 1, you get to name an NPC that's going to appear in the campaign sometime.
Yep.
So basically, you send me a name as long as it's not super inappropriate. Which honestly, it'd have to be really inappropriate.
Yeah.
Like it would have to be pretty bad.
Like we're talking like big no-no words.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't offend anybody, obviously, then it's going to that NPC that you create is going to find its way into the campaign. The top tier, you get to create a magical item that will exist in our campaign.
Yeah,
and so
and
you can
do
potentially
whatever you
break
want with
the
it, too.
campaign. Now, there's a chance that they pick up your magical item and go, "Oh, neat," and like throw it in a fire somewhere. I can't control what the players do. Believe me, I wish I could sometimes. But
Said every DM everywhere.
yeah, but so that's the benefit of it, as well as getting access to the episodes a day early. A lot of behind the scenes content that I'm going to be starting to make this week. So I'm going to be like diving deep into the lore of the world and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
We'll be doing like play alongs of board games sometimes once we get a little more established, get some more
Sure.
free time. That
Do
some
like
of the,
some side content.
yeah, and the Patreon subscribers will be able to participate with us live in those.
Oh,
So like one time we played Red Dragon Inn over at the Wii Pub and we were drinking and the live chat was able to buy us drinks while we were playing.
Oh Lord, none
Yeah.
of you walked away with alcohol poisoning.
It was an interesting night. I'll say that. But yeah, so that is the last thing that I'll plug is if you want to support them,
Burke wants to know, Sir Hugh Janus.
that'd be fine.
Oh, I hope you need to go ahead and subscribe to the Patreon high enough to get that NPC in
It's
there.
$5 a month to get an NPC name.
There you go. $5 a month. You can get yourself your Sir Hugh Janus.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's it. I mean, that's the last thing that I'll plug.
Cool. Well, I'm Nick the Red. With me this week is Spencer.
Yeah, don't call me Spence.
Yeah, I
please.
know you don't like Spence. I don't know why all of a sudden I started doing that too. Like in my head, it's like, oh yeah, Spence. No, he doesn't like Spence. It's Spencer.
I got 4 first names. They're fine. Use
One of
any
them.
No answer.
Hey, you.
Yeah.
Anyway, with me this week, and hopefully we'll have him back again soon.
Yeah,
Anytime
whenever.
he wants to, really.
Maybe next week to play our decks against.
There you
each other.
go. That'll be a thing. I think he's gonna win though.
I don't know. I'm not very good at deck building.
I have no faith with Rose. Like, there's a reason why she's $36.
$30. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Find out next week.
Find out next week. Tune in. We'll see you guys then. All right. Love you.